All right, so we are here now live for another social marketing hour. And this one is a very, very special one. It feels like I almost say that every single time. But today we are in the Boracay Beach, and this is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I just came all the way from the United States of America, from Florida, from the city of Largo. I brought my table, I brought my equipment, I brought my camera crew. And I'm here with my legendary ninja, super ninja sidekick, Mr. Jonald Jamora. And we're going to provide a lot of value to you today, but from directly the Boracay Beach.
Yes.
That's awesome, right, Jonald?
Yes, it is. Welcome to the Philippines, Manuel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here, man. Anyways, I'm just messing around again, guys. We keep on having fun with this amazing green screen. You know, I overpaid a lot of money for this green screen.
Oh,
I overpaid a lot. Like
wow.
it's ridiculous. People ask me how much did you pay for it, and I said I think it was about 15 grand, right?
Wow.
15,000. And they said, why didn't you just paint the wall and pay like $500? And I'm like, man, I would have done that. I should have done that. But I gotta get some juice out of it, man. That's what we're doing right now.
Yep.
We're getting some juice out of it. So hopefully that's slightly entertaining you guys before we actually get into the content of today's social marketing hour. If you guys are listening to the podcast, that's an invitation for you guys to come and check out the YouTube video so you can see what we were just talking about and how we were messing around with our green screen. If you guys are wondering why the heck is that a $15,000 green screen, just to be clear, I have come down a very long journey. Jonald has been a big part of that journey along the way. The first course that I ever did was a course that sold millions of dollars, and that course was called the Facebook Masters.
Yes.
It sold $2.5 million as of right now, and I recorded it with a green Amazon bedsheet that cost me $20. That's it. So it's a big upgrade to a $15,000 green screen. This one is supposed to be very different because this one is what is called an infinity wall. So you're supposed to do all kinds of cool things. I just thought it was cool, and I wanted to create a very cool building.
It is.
All right. So anyways, today's guest is somebody that I love personally and professionally. He's been with me for 5 years now.
Yes, sir. 5 years.
He has an incredible story. He's an AGM ninja. He's an attention-grabbing, super incredible ninja that has helped me do a lot of great things. Some of the most incredible marketing strategies that I ever executed have been executed by him. I've had the crazy vision, and he's helped me execute on that crazy vision, and we've done some great things together. He is with us in Largo, Florida right now, and I try to bring him here as much as possible. He was supposed to come earlier, but there's a thing that you guys, I don't know if you know what was happening, something in 2020 that kind of like went throughout the entire world.
Yep.
Did you hear about that, Jonald?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So, you know, I actually wanted to, true story, I wanted to go to visit Jonald. I was actually on my way over there almost. A few of us at AGM were going to go to his wedding over there. And we couldn't go because the Philippines shut down, the U.S. shut down, but the Philippines shut down for way longer than us.
Yes, we did.
I remember trying to decide whether I would go to your wedding or not. Because obviously you're my brother, right? You became my little brother along the way. And we're family now, right? So along the way, I'm like, oh my God, Jonald's going to get married. I got to go to Jonald's wedding. And then I look into it, and I had to stay on a government-controlled hotel facility for 2 weeks
Yes.
before they would let me loose into the Philippines.
Yes. That's one of their requirements. Yes.
So I said, John, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead and stream it. I'll try to join the stream. And we couldn't go and visit you over there. So that was a sad thing that I had to miss on Jonald's wedding. But the reason why we're doing this podcast today, Jonald, is because there's a lot of people that want to get themselves on a path of growth. I want to tell your story. Your story is really, really incredible. It's like, I know we told it many years ago when you and I got together in Austin, and it's an incredible story. We didn't have the same setting, so we couldn't really communicate it the way that we can communicate it right now. I think this story is going to provide a lot of value. A lot of people still today feel that the only way that they can actually thrive, expand, and do better is via the system that the government is giving to them or the country is giving to them.
Yes.
School, universities, certain processes, right? That if you don't go through that process, you're not able to succeed or expand. And people at AGM, we actually disprove this particular idea consistently all the time. And you're a perfect example of that because you had no real idea that you could become what you are today.
Yep.
So, John, why don't you just take a moment to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your story and how did you eventually get in the AGM world and how did you become one of the top marketers here in this company?
Awesome. So yeah, first, thank you, Manuel, for the invitation and the message. So I actually, when I started, or before I started with the AGM, I actually didn't graduate college. I wasn't able to finish my college degree. First job I had was a waiter and then transferred as a Japanese cook for a restaurant that is in Manila, Philippines. My monthly salary at that time, if you convert into dollars, was around $100 a month. That includes my transportation, my lodging, my food.
How many hours a week?
That actually is more than 50 to 60 hours a week. So I work I go to the restaurant at 8 in the morning, and then I go home at night at 10 or 11 at night.
It's something that when you say that, John, like it really does make me emotional. And I mean it. It really does because obviously you guys sacrifice a lot to work for AGM because you have a different schedule and it's 12-hour difference over there,
Yes.
right? So when we're starting our day, you guys are finishing your day every day. So it's a big deal because I also don't, everybody works together on the same schedule.
Yes.
So there's a lot of sacrifice, but I mean, hopefully some people from the Philippines are watching this video. We should definitely spread that because I'm looking for more incredible people like you. You are incredible. You are without a doubt incredible and a great, great mind that I want to keep on lifting and empowering along the way. But I want everybody to understand what Jono just said. This is extremely powerful, right? So he said he was working 50 to 60 hours a week and he was making $100 a month.
Yes.
All right. So let's just do a quick math over here. So let's say that we're working 50 hours a week. If you do 50 hours a week divided by $25, you are making 50 cents on the dollar per hour. Okay. So every hour you work, you're making 50 cents.
Yes.
So $25 a week, just so everybody, for perspective purposes, perspective, all right? If you have a single AT&T line, one phone line, or Verizon or T-Mobile, et cetera, I've been with AT&T for 15 years, you're going to pay $100 in the US just for your phone. Just for your cell phone, for one line, you will pay $100. So Mr. Jono Jamora, working his butt off in the Philippines for 50 to 60 hours a week, was making $100 a month.
Yes.
The cost of keeping a cell phone in the United States, if you have a one line on any of these accounts, it's incredible. Also because I know how much you make right now, right?
Yes.
So I know that you come a long way, Jonald. You come an incredibly long way. And I'm telling you, you still provide an enormous value to the organization, and I'm always looking for ways to give more to you. And we'll talk about that along the way on this podcast too. But it's very emotional, man, that we've been able to connect and you've been able to have this opportunity to give the quality of life that you have now with your wife. It's actually quite something.
Yep, and we are actually always grateful for the opportunity and then the room for growth for the past few years that we had with AGM. We're always grateful. We treat the whole company as our family as well.
You are.
We love everyone here. We love working with Manuel and the rest of the team. They always have that type of mentality that if you can always figure it out. If you can't figure it out, there is always someone that has those information. So working here is always the best.
It's amazing. Yeah, we like to definitely help you discover your own abilities. And that's something that I do for myself. Like I consistently don't really understand what my power is at, what my ability is until I actually start doing things and then I discover things. So because I have gone through that process myself, the exact same journey that you have gone through, in which didn't finish college, didn't graduate, didn't have a degree, didn't have a career, just kept on getting jobs, trying to survive, not making enough money. And then I discovered abilities. I know that anybody out there can start discovering these abilities.
Yes.
And here's the beautiful thing about the world that we live in today. This world, because of this thing called the internet, this phenomena that literally was born a couple of decades ago. So you're talking about a word that has been around thousands of years, this world, right? Humankind, there's different opinions of it. You know, if you go and talk to religion, there's a few thousand years. If you talk to science, there's billions of years, millions of years of humans. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are. The fact is that we've been along the ride for a long time, no matter what the opinion is. But the internet world has begun in just somewhere around 2 decades ago. It began. This opened up opportunities that people still don't understand. These opportunities are things like what we're doing here today. The fact that I have you here, if it wasn't for the internet, you and I would not know each other.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the internet, you and Emily would not have the life that you have, right? If it wasn't for the internet, you would still probably maybe on a call center for AT&T or something like that in the Philippines, trying to just survive, right? And looking for an opportunity for yourself. So it's incredible how we take for granted these things. But in the end, these things have opened up massive doors that a lot of people still don't realize are open, and they don't take these doors. So this is a very deep subject, but like I'm telling you, for real, absolutely a reality of this world, that this world is still in evolution. It's just getting started, and people are still not getting awakened to the opportunities in this environment, and they still don't get it, and they miss it. They miss these opportunities left and right. You can't see opportunities unless you actually start looking, right? Observing. So Jonald, so continue with your story. So you were making $100 a month, working your butt off, 60 hours a week.
Yep. And then moving forward, I jumped into a call center. As Manuel mentioned, I actually worked into an insurance industry. And then after a while, I decided this path is no longer for me. So Emily and I resigned from that job. And since we were looking for work that actually can accommodate us or can pay more from what we were earning at that time, a friend of ours recommended us with AGM. Actually, I only applied for AGM as a customer service agent. I didn't have any background in marketing, website development, or nothing. The only experience or skills I have at that time was customer service. And then along the way, our chief marketing officer actually saw me and decided to train me in the world of marketing. I started with Amazon and Facebook ads. As an ad buyer, he gives me information, he trains me from time to time. And then after some time that I have been providing such value, Manuel started noticing me. And then Manuel grabbed me.
I started
from
hearing
Hoya.
about you.
Yes.
Because I always hear, people don't realize that. So we have 115 staff in the company.
Yep.
But I hear about everything. Everything ends up coming onto my line somehow. Sometimes more than it should, to be honest. But I end up finding out, like, I'm pretty omnipresent in AGM.
Yes.
Like even the clients don't understand that, but I'm pretty much everywhere, right? So I try to be like walk the talk in the same way that we do on social media. We want to be everywhere across the company. I want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm everywhere, like my eyes and ears, right, across the board. So I kept on hearing about you. And people kept on talking about how this Jonald and that Jonald and this Jonald figured that out, and Jonald did that. And I'm like, whoa. First of all, you have a good name because nobody else has the name Jonald. Is that a common name in the Philippines?
It is not.
It's not, right? So it's like your parents were like, I like Donald, but I'm just gonna swap the D for the J.
Most likely,
right?
most likely.
That's great. That's great. It was very smart. You have a very unique name, so it's attention grabbing right away. So I'm like, Jonald, all right, okay. Let's keep hearing what's going on over there. And then until one day, usually when I observe a lot of power, I look for ways to bring that power closer up. Because here's the thing that I can give you, guys, anybody that's watching and listening in regards to value. I know how to maximize power as a leader better than anybody else in the organization. I know how to take somebody that I know has potential, and I know how to help them get to the most of that potential. And we can talk about that in a second, Donald, because I think that could provide value to people. But I have seen people get wasted on the organization. Talent, people with skill get wasted. I pick them up, and they become incredibly valuable to the organization. Definitely. And they started giving enormous power back to the organization just when leadership takes good care of it, which is something that I have seen across the world of businesses. Leaders don't know how to handle their employees and their staff.
Yes.
And they don't lift them up. They don't raise them. They don't make them discover their own abilities. So when they don't do that, these people end up losing in their jobs. They end up failing at it. And then the employers, the leaders say, oh, this person was no good. Whenever I catch that person, boom. So when I let go of somebody, John, generally is because I myself tested that person out, and they're not what we need them to be. Only then I let them go. But otherwise, I try to bring them up and help them discover their own abilities. So would you mind talking about that process? Because you and I have worked closely together for many years now. We've executed on a lot of strategies. People have seen webinars that I've done that you put together. People have seen strategies that I've done, like, for example, lead generation strategies that I'm the one that's the pretty face in front of it. But without you, this doesn't happen, right? We have sold millions of dollars of products. Like, we sold this Amazon ranking service. You're the mastermind behind that, right? So working with me, what is it about me as your leader that maybe sometimes has helped you grow, that you think it's going to provide value to other leaders? Because I have a lot of leaders here, entrepreneurs, business owners that want to be able to lift their staff and make more journals, because that's the one thing that they're struggling with. How do I make more people become powerful in my organization? What can you tell them as advice?
Yep. So working with Manuel, there's actually a lot of things I can say, or there's a lot of good things I can say about Manuel. But
there's some bad things you can say too, right?
Only a few of them.
Your job is not in danger, Donald. We crossed that line already. All right.
There's one or two instances, but
there is. Wait a second. That was a trick question, Donald.
The only instance is you don't get angry with me. That's what that's actually a good thing and a bad thing for you guys. Manuel doesn't get angry whenever you commit mistakes. He always blames himself for my mistakes. He always says that he had forgotten, or he didn't guide me enough or taught me enough for those things that I committed my own mistake. That's what I really like about Manuel. And then we actually had an agreement, Manuel and I, that I'm going to be with AGM until he needed me. And then the way we worked is he always gives me challenges. He always wants, or if he thinks of a strategy that no one has thought yet, that no one has created yet, that's a good challenge that he's going to give me. And then that's an area that for any employee can actually grow. If you're being challenged, you're being excited of what the unknowns are, what you can actually make out of the things that you don't have yet. So for leaders out there, just two things that I want you guys to follow, the same as Manuel, is one, always take ownership of your employees, meaning whatever they do, it always falls under the leader. If they did good things, it always actually benefits the leader. If they did bad things, it always also falls on the leader.
100%.
So that's actually a great leadership from Manuel. That's why the company, or the AGM agency, has been growing really well. And that's also the reason why it's just not me, it's most of, or if not all of our staff actually loves you for that. The second thing is always challenge your employees, because you might not know that your employee is actually good with this thing. As Manuel mentioned earlier, there are diamonds on the rough, underscore, that you may actually wouldn't know that they have this certain type of skills if you don't give them challenges that's going to excite them to come to work every morning. Because for long-time employees, for example, like me, I worked for 3 years in a call center. I was just pushing myself to come to the office just for the pay itself.
Dragging yourself every morning.
Yes.
Like, it was like difficult.
Yeah, it was repetitive work. I'm no longer being challenged, so I'm no longer excited to come there. So that's another thing that you always make.
That's a great point.
Things for challenging for employees.
And I want to talk about that point because that's extremely valuable, right? So here's the thing about people that are powerhouses. Like, make no mistake, Jonald, you are a genius and you're amazing and you're very talented. So when people, and you know that, I've told you that time and time again, I'm not just trying to be like, oh, Jonald, like, just, usually you suck up to people that are above you, right? I'm not sucking up to you, right? I'm telling you, you're amazing, right? People that are like Jonald, that have incredible potential to get things on. And I have a few of them at AGM. I've been fortunate that I have, somebody that's really close to you, for example, Jules. I mean, you guys are amazing. Here's a problem with people like you. And you have a problem. You have a big one. You get easily bored.
Yes, I do.
You get easily bored. And the reason why you get easily bored is because you're so powerful that when you don't get challenged, I love that you said that, because when you don't get challenged, you don't even perform well. You start getting distracted. Yes. You take more cigarette breaks than usual. Yes. You're not really producing as much as you would produce usually. your number one thing is getting challenged. And I have experienced that consistently. And it's important for me as a leader to keep challenge you for greatness and do great things, because I know if I don't, I lose you. I lose your attention. You don't become the Jono that I know you can become. So that's the one thing that I can tell you. When you guys have employees, team players, team warriors that are with you every step of the way, that you know these guys you can count on, like Jono, I know I can count on him. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It doesn't matter what time. I can tell you guys the stories that we have scars. We've gone to war, man. We have gone to war in a lot of different launches and promotions and offers and webinars and presentations. We have done so much stuff together. This guy, and this is something that, again, it doesn't really happen with all your staff, but this guy doesn't have a schedule. Whenever I need him, he's there for me. Everything is a priority. When it comes to like trying to get AGM to the next level, trying to execute on strategy, there's not a time when I don't call him and he doesn't pick up, or he doesn't call me right away. I'm talking about 5 years already in the making, right? Yep. So these powerhouses that you have that are in it for blood, these ones that are with you until the end of the days and they believe in your vision, they got to be challenged. Because if you don't challenge them, you lose them. You really, really lose them. And I have a few of you guys, like, you know, there's other people, like, for example, Jay Panlazan, the first ever Filipino staff that I ever had. Love him to death. My other little brother, right? Stop challenging him. He doesn't have the value to the organization. I challenge him and he grows and he's amazing, right? So it's a good quality to in a way, but it's something that you guys have to be aware of as a leader.
Yes.
Which, again, I'm sure this is also applicable to you, because you're also a leader of people. So at this point where you're at, you have people that you got to run. And some of these people are really good. So if you don't challenge them, you also lose them. So this is applicable. So the way that I challenge you, you have to push those challenges down.
Yes.
And you got to help people go up, because that's how they grow. That's how people grow. You say, listen, John, I need you to get me this product in the next 48 hours. I need you to create this particular. We just did this a couple of days ago, right?
Yes, the Natural Slims.
The Natural Slim, right? So we have the Natural Slim brand that we have an enormous amount of attention on social media channels. Like, it's a dream come true. I can spend $0 on advertising and still bring in millions of dollars in revenue every single month. Imagine that. When everybody else out there is struggling to put $1 and get $2 back, I spend $0 and I get $100. I get $25. I get $100, $75 all the time. I don't have to invest in advertising. I invest in advertising because I believe in it, but our Natural Slim strategy is built on content distribution of value that is attention grabbing, which leads towards our businesses selling their products. So that's our strategy. Yep. So we have a lot of great content. Now let's give them a hot tip on for attention grabbing. There's a company called ManyChat. Yes, and that company helps us integrate these social media channels like Facebook and Instagram, so we can actually try to generate leads and prospects from the attention that we get organically.
Yes.
So last week, ManyChat rolled out the ability to get people, this was a big announcement.
It is.
To have people, give people the ability when somebody comments on a Facebook reel or an Instagram reel, that you can actually send them a message, a follow-up message, and try to bring them into your world. Extract the phone number and email, offer them a product or service, and now you have people coming out of social media into your world, right?
Yep.
So when I discovered that, I was like, John, 24 hours, man, I want you to launch this, all right? And we went over on the whiteboard and we drew it all up and we said, I need you to do this and this and this and that across all the social media profiles. I need you to launch it. Let's go. 24 hours. What did you do 24 hours later?
I was actually able to deliver it by the end of the day. I did my best. So Manuel was challenging me to have it or get it done. Create all the funnels that we need, connect all the social media channels that we need. And then I made sure to do it. I made sure to deliver as requested. And by the end of the day, at around 5 in the afternoon, I was able to complete all the 4 channels. All integrations were done. All connections and organic triggers are done. So right now, it is actually generating leads organically. Even we are currently doing podcasts, we no longer need to manage it.
Wow. It's probably like hundreds of people coming in every day, right? If not thousands at this point.
From both Facebook, Instagram, anyone that commented, not just on Reels, even if they comment on Facebook Lives, on any organic post that we have, they're gonna automatically get into our world.
So if anybody has any questions about that, because I do want to give you execution strategies, you can put a message here on the YouTube channel, or you can send us a calendar appointment so you can talk to one of our sales consultants so we can find out how we can help you, or even give you more training on how to get this done. But what John just talked about is that we have the ability now, when somebody comments on a reel on Instagram or on a reel on Facebook, which are on fire right now, we're able to send them a follow-up message via Messenger, Facebook Messenger,
Or Instagram
DM, and say something like, hey, I thank you for commenting on my post. Here's how we can help you handle your situations or whatever, or like
here's
take
a
my
lead
quiz.
magnet. Yes. Or here's a lead magnet or a PDF guide that you can download.
Right. So that way you can take the phone number, take the email, and now you're growing your list, which in the end, that's what's going to help you grow your business.
Yes, definitely.
Right. Social media, it's a starting point. It's not by no means the end. It's a starting point. It's how people connect with you to begin with. And after they make a connection, you want to find ways to bring them into your world. And in your world, your phone number list, your email list, that's how you end up connecting these people into your products and services. And that's the best way to go about it, because people don't buy from you on first contact. They need to see you over and over again.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so that was a good tip right there, marketing tip for you guys. So Jonald, just going back a little bit to your story, right? Because your story is quite amazing and inspiring. And AGM Marketing has 115 staff. 50 of you guys are in the Philippines, all right?
Yes.
You are one of the original ones over there. I think when you started with me 5 years ago, we maybe had 15 staff.
Actually, I'm the 13th staff
You're the 13th total?
total.
Total. Imagine that. So 13. So now we're 115.
Yes.
So there's been 102 people added along the way. There's been probably another 100 people that didn't make it,
Yes.
right?
There might be. There might
we
be.
hired, that they either quit because they didn't do well in this culture of high producers, or they were fired because they didn't cut it. One or the other, right? So there's been hundreds of people, but again, 13 people. You were number 13.
Yes.
I think there's a movie about that, actually. I think it's called 13.
Yeah.
Something
There
like
is.
that. So you were number 13, and then 102 people have been added. I have a big question for you. So we talked about this in the car privately, you and I, the other day. We know the average household income in the Philippines.
Yep.
How many more times is your salary right now for you? Where are you right now? Like, how many times above the average household?
Around 10 times above the average household income.
So in the Philippines, working
business.
from the comfort of your home with
Yep.
your computer, that we helped you upgrade your devices over the years, with your own space, obviously at the schedule that we have over here in the United States, you make 10 times more than the average household income in the Philippines.
Yes.
Just so you guys know how big of an opportunity that is, right? And we got to grow a lot more still. And there's a lot of potential, because the way that I approach it as a leader is, you guys get to a point in which I feel the exchange is out of balance. And when that happens, I put myself back in control. And I always keep on helping you guys grow.
Yes.
You know, so if people in the Philippines go out to another company, usually you get 1% raises a year.
Actually, some are less.
Some are less than 1%. Over here, we can get on average 10% raises a year, plus a lot of bonus games and other things along the way, right?
Those are great, actually.
Nice little unexpected sometimes, right? So that's
Yes.
nice. So we do find ways to help you guys grow and see the opportunity for you to get stronger along the way. So that's good. So what are your goals yourself? Because I know you said until I needed you. Let me tell you officially now, until when do I need you? I need you until you die.
Okay.
Just make it official, right?
But
The day that you drop that body, I don't
the
need
day.
you anymore, bro.
Yep.
Until that day, I want you on this team. All right? That's just the way it is. Because I would say that until the day that I die, because I'm way older than you. But the team is still going to need you, man, when I'm gone. So let's just, to make it fair, you can go when you die. Deal? All right, good. So that way, or whenever you want to retire, right? But retirement is boring, man. I don't know.
It is. There's no challenge to it. I mean, you don't do anything during retirement, so.
Imagine how much we've grown over the last 5 years, John. Like, imagine just 20 years down the line.
Yep.
Where are we going to be as a company?
We might be 1,000. We might have an office in the Philippines in the next few years
I think so.
with the growth we're having. But my goal, I actually have a 5-year goal and a 10-year goal. My 5-year goal is to be able to have my own farm. I actually prefer to have a vegetable farm because I was a cook before, so I still love cooking, and I still love.
You did cook for us
Yeah, I
one
did.
time. Hmm.
We did. I did cook for them last time I visit. I love cooking, and actually, most of the Philippine staff oftentimes goes to my place or our place to either eat, drink, or hang out. So every time they go there, I cook something for them.
Yeah, because the AGM staff is very united.
Yes,
So
it
you
is.
guys get to hang out with each other outside work hours.
And it's actually, even though we were hanging out outside office hours, our topics are actually still within the agency. We talked about any other areas that they need help, or any other areas that needs improvement. Or for example, if I have
You
requested,
complain about me sometimes?
no, actually I complain about the ones that are visiting. I tell them, I requested this from you last time, but you took a while. It took you 2 days to complete it. Why did you take 2 days? Those kind of stuff. It's just us friends, bickering with each other, making sure that during work hours we're still gonna be professionals, but during outside hours we're gonna treat each other as friends. So that's my goal, is to have a farm, so to be able to cook some fresh food, or to be able to just grab any ingredients I want.
I love it. I love it.
And then I like fishing a lot, so maybe somehow the next 10 to 20 years, a place on the beach so I can go fishing. But those are my end goals. And then part of it is I always wanted to grow as an employee or as a part of the AGM agency. I always wanted to continue my learning, because with the marketing stuff, everything or anything actually changes. What you might know today might not be worth it tomorrow, or what skills you have today might no longer be needed tomorrow. With the fast-paced marketing world right now, you need to be constantly learning. You need to be constantly testing. You need to be able to improve right away or learn new things right away to be constantly up the top of your game.
You can train yourself every day. You
Yes.
got to be consistent. There's no such thing as hanging a degree on the wall and then just working.
Yes.
That doesn't really exist. That's something for maybe doctors or people that are, there's a certain science that doesn't really change much. In the world of
Yes.
marketing, things are changing all the time. What
It
worked
is.
yesterday doesn't work anymore. Opportunities that exist today don't exist tomorrow, and that's just the way it is. So it's a very important skill of a marketer. A marketer has to be willing to always learn,
Yes.
and that's something that differentiates a good marketer from a bad one. The bad marketer thinks he's an expert and he has nothing else to learn. The good one thinks he doesn't know enough yet. That's the
Yep.
reality. So the good one is always looking to make himself better through more knowledge. The good one never feels that he's already at the summit. The good marketer always feels he's climbing a mountain, because it really never ends. It absolutely never stops, and it's a process that it's going to be ongoing. As long as you have the career in marketing, you got to know that every single day you got to learn something new, and that's something that you and I are really good at. That, right? We're always thinking about what else is new, what else can we learn, what can we implement, how can we make ourselves better, and by doing so, we conquer the world. Like sometimes people don't understand the formula. Right? They see the success, they feel that we might be lucky somehow, but they don't understand there is a series of steps. There's a formula. There's a sequence that needs to be applied for you to be successful. First of all, you got to be passionate. You got to have a drive to be better. Second of all, you got to know that you don't know shit yet.
Yes.
That's the reality. The moment that you start feeling that you know everything, or that you know best, or that you already have learned your whole life about it, that's the moment that you start going downhill. And third of all, you got to put the energy behind it, and you got to have the drive and the energy and the enthusiasm and the motivation. Those things are in place. Then you got a formula that works to expand yourself professionally, financially, personally, etc. So it's quite magical, but at the same time very logical. And
It is.
the people that have grown at AGM, we do have a group of people here from 115 staff now that have been around for a long time.
Yep.
4 or 5 years.
A lot of them within the 4 or 5 years range, and then quite a few of them in the 3-year range.
Yeah, specifically like people in the Philippines. And that's something that I love about you guys, because I know along the way, people have noticed you because I've positioned you. I talk about you on webinars, and I've talked to you across the board. But because you guys are so loyal, you stick to a team and you grow with that team.
It is.
And there's something about the Philippine culture that is very, very like, you guys are very sane, very, very sane people, and very loyal and hardworking. and very unique. So, once I got to know your culture and know some of you guys, I'm grateful for the opportunity of working with people like you, and I highly recommend that any of you guys have not built a team outside the United States of America, you look into hiring people over there, because these people are quite powerful, and they're ready to grow, and they're ready to expand and get themselves to a new level. So it's almost like this is becoming like a recruitment video for the Philippines, right?
Sounds
for the
like
Philippine
yes.
staff, right? But it is invaluable, right? So if you ask me, Manuel, what is one of the most valuable, smartest things that you've ever done in your business career? I would tell you without a doubt, building a team of people, and specifically building a team of people in the Philippines. Because you guys I know I can count on you guys no matter what. And the one thing that I have with you guys, here's the reality, John. In the US, I got a lot more clock punchers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a clock puncher is?
They log out or go out exactly the same.
9:00 they're in, or 8:30. We start at 8:30. 8:30 they in. At 4:59 they're already picking up their things so they can get out. All right, that's a clock puncher. They're not really like looking to, how do I grow in this organization? How do I find opportunities to make myself stronger and more powerful? How do I give value to this group of people that I know have the ability to help me grow and accomplish my goals? We don't have a lot of that. We have a lot of clock punchers in the US. A lot of great people, all right? But we have a lot of clock punchers. That's the reality. I don't think I've ever met a clock puncher in the Philippines. There's something about you guys that I can reach you at any time, guys. Like, I can reach you, and whenever I need your help, you're there, man. You are there. So what makes you guys and your culture so different to the USA?
I mean, from my perspective, the way I think about it is we value our job. We want to make sure we are always going to be providing value. I am always going to be available, because in this type of industry that we are in, something is gonna come up, or there's gonna be an issue, or there's gonna be a new opportunity that's gonna come up. If you don't jump on it right away, you're gonna miss it. So that's my mentality, is to be always available, to be always be there if needed. So that way I'm gonna be always up top of any opportunity that there is. Reason why most Filipinos don't actually clock out on time, they normally extend their hours, is we want to be able to complete those tasks that we were assigned for before we actually go home. Some of us actually are not able or have trouble sleeping if they constantly think, I wasn't able to complete this specific task.
I love that.
That's why, for example, my wife,
she's amazing, by the way. Jonathan's wife. You guys met before AGM, right?
Yes, we did.
Knew each other before.
Yes.
She started before you, right?
No, she originally, actually, she was the only person to be hired. I wasn't supposed to be hired by
And
AGM.
you came in behind her.
I came in behind
So
her.
Emily is amazing. Emily, we love her to death. We tried to fly her in here for this trip. She couldn't make it, but she's amazing. She's like also 5 years in the making with AGM,
Yes.
and she is in the Amazon department at AGM, and she is invaluable. Also an incredible AGM ninja. You were saying?
Yep. So, for example, my wife, whenever we are on bed, she always thinks, did I send that email report? Did I submit that request? Was I able to complete those projects that I have? So that's a mentality that most Filipinos have, is they always want to go in above and beyond, or to just be able to complete their projects at hand. Because sometimes it might not be that rush of a cycle and urgent of a cycle, but it just bugs them. It wouldn't leave their head if they weren't able to complete those. That's why we stay longer hours. We make sure everything is completed. All the things that we do is quality check, all those kind of stuff.
Yeah. I love that, because that's a very good quality to have. An obsession over completing cycles of action is a very, very good quality. I've had that myself throughout the years. It's an important success quality, right? Like, and also I would imagine that you have this image of me asking you to do something.
Oh yeah.
And you might just be thinking of like, oh, my boss Manuel is going to ask me, right? It's not going to ask me about it. So you get concerned over not delivering on that product.
Yes and no. On some occasions, if it's really urgent, then it's on the top of our head that Manuel said, this is going to be urgent. We need to do this in the next couple of hours. So that's some of the occasions. But oftentimes we just want to be able to sleep good at night. So we don't have to think of those projects. We want them completed before we actually go to bed.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, John, as we're wrapping up this great interview, I want to see people that are listening to this podcast, watching this video, if they want to grow in an organization. You've grown a lot at AGM.
Yep.
Like you've opened up the doors for your own expansion, and it's been consistent to where you're at
Yes.
right now. And again, we're just beginning. Historically, you have grown every single year, and it's been consistent.
Yes.
How does anybody get themselves? What are a few tips that you can give people that want to get themselves on a path that they're always growing and making themselves better? For anybody that wants to grow, what would you suggest to them?
There's actually just one word for it. Yes. Always say yes. Always say yes for opportunities. Always say yes for learning. Always say yes for challenges. Because if you say no to opportunities, you're not going to grow. If you say no to being challenged, if you say no to any problems that you're going to face during your career, you're not going to grow. So always say yes to anything. There is actually a movie about it, The Yes Man.
The Yes Man, Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exactly this. If you haven't watched it, watch it first. It will show you, or it's the same formula as what I always follow.
It's a story at the end. It proves a point, right?
Yes.
Of like the concept of being positive and
Being
always
positive, yes. Being always happy to help, being always happy to assist others, being always eager to learn something, always provide value to everyone.
being an optimist, right?
Yes.
Not being a negative person.
Yes.
That's basically also how it summarizes it, because you can get a request from somebody and say, I don't think that could be possible. Or you can get a request from somebody and say, I'm going to look into the possibilities to see what I can do.
Yes.
And that's something that I love about you, because I hate negative people that can tell me that. That's why, when you look at the core values of AGM, what we believe in, one of them is figure it out, because I used to have a lot of people tell me, no, that's not possible. And I would push them away and be like, I'm going to get it done myself. And then I would have them watch it while I get it done and be like, what is it again that you said? That it wasn't possible?
Mm-hmm.
I got it done. And along the way, people realize, wait a second, I'm actually saying something cannot be done, but you don't know what you don't know.
Yes, it is.
And that's incredible, right? Because I just tell you, John, I'll figure it out. And sometimes I think it feels impossible, right? But in the end, you figure it out. So it becomes like this whole thing. I'm like, wait a second. The world is full of information. The world is full of knowledge. The world is full of ways that things can get done. Just go ahead and figure it out and get it done. Don't accept no for an answer. Don't be a negative person. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Be an optimist. Be the one that says, I'm going to get it done. And that's something that you have done that quite well. Very, very well. So what's another tip that you can give people if they want to grow?
Start with what you can learn from now. It's always a first step to just take your first step. Everything that you do, for example, if you're going to be working with AGM, let's say, for example, your first step is accept or join a company and then start learning through it, because not everything is being taught in school. As for the marketing right now, actually, it's not being taught on any schools at the moment. So always be open to other challenges or other doors, and always be able to try new things. Let's say, for example, if I stayed in my comfort zone, I wouldn't be in AGM right now. I would always just be a call center agent or a Japanese cook or any cook right there. But
You were a good cook, no?
Thank you. But I did step out from my comfort zone. That's your most important thing, is step out from your comfort zones, try new things. You might know, or you may never know, you have those skills. If I didn't join AGM, I wouldn't know I have those skills to be able to do marketing or to do website development or manage it and those kind of stuffs.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
For perspective purposes, this is somebody that, like we said earlier in the interview, makes 10 times as much than what the average person or household, I believe, makes in the Philippines. All right.
Yep.
For perspective, if you put that into an equation in the United States market, that would be somebody making close to $400,000 a year. All right. So in the Philippines number, don't go after him and start asking him for money. But for Philippine purposes, he is very, very successful in the Philippines. And, the average household in the United States is somewhere around $40,000 a year. You make that 10 times, you're looking at $400,000 a year. So in the Philippines, he has grown with us over the last 5 years and putting himself in a position of being a powerful employee, pushing the mission forward of this organization, and at the same time getting a lot of power back from it. And we're just getting started, John.
We are.
I don't know if you feel it already, but I'm becoming harder to reach these days. which means that there's more opportunities coming. There's a lot more growth coming, and I need you guys to keep on becoming more and more powerful, because I'm going to need you guys to keep on being ninjas as we get AGM marketing, attention grabbing media to the next level.
Yep, I'm
Right.
always excited for those.
Yeah.
The challenges that are gonna come my way.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting for sure. So, Jonald, you and I have gone through a lot of battles, marketing strategies, a lot of different things over the years. 5 years is a long time. We've come through building an organization of a small little group of people to now a pretty massive group. You are a master marketer. You have helped a lot of people along the way. You have created a personal brand for yourself. People know you out there. We're just getting started. So give people, just to wrap up the interview, what is the hottest thing that you're seeing right now in marketing that they should be taking advantage of for generating prospects, sales, leads? What is one hot tip as you're working every single day close to me that you can actually give to people so they can take home and implement?
It would be still using ManyChat for lead generation, because right now ManyChat has opened its doors to 6 channels in total. So before we have Facebook Messenger, but we now have Instagram, SMS, email, Telegram, and WhatsApp. Depending on which your market or what your market is, let's say, for example, the Latin speaking market, they're most likely going to be more engaged on Instagram. For WhatsApp. For the American market, it's most likely going to be Instagram DM, SMS, or Messenger. So ManyChat is going to be your tool to be able to generate massive amount of leads that then you can go ahead and provide value and market your products or services afterwards. So as Manuel always said on our trainings, is it's not how big your list is, it's how or what you do with your list. So the moment they come in, do some magic with your list, provide some value, and then turn them into sales or ravaging customers afterwards.
Do we still have a live course that they can actually do to get started with ManyChat?
Yes, we still have it on the AGM Ninja Lab. We have the ManyChat Basics and then the ManyChat Advanced for lead generation purposes. We have a lot of training about ManyChat, and we always give out templates that you can just easily install and then follow the guides that we also give out, so you can just follow along in how to write or edit those.
Great. So any of you guys listening to this or watching this, you want to get some marketing help, get access to either free training or more advanced paid training, or get access to services. We have it all. You can go to talktoaninja.com. That's the website, talktoaninja.com, and book a call with one of our guys. Who knows? John sometimes shows up. I can show up myself, especially if it's a subject that is more related to what we do every day.
Yes.
And we can see how we can help you. Talktoaninja.com. This is not meant to be an infomercial. We are literally trying to give you value, but sometimes people are listening to this strategy and they're like, okay, but what do I do and how do I do it? And we do want to give you what the next step in executing it. I promise you, it's not rocket science. All you got to do is have what I said earlier, the motivation, the passion, and then put the time and energy behind it, get the knowledge in place, and then you go and get that executed, and you'll see magical things happen. So either get our help or get it done yourself, but just know that there's opportunities. And like the great philosopher Seneca said, what does it mean to get lucky? Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So if you get prepared by studying, by connecting with people like us, you're going to find opportunities and you're going to get lucky. And trust me, right now there are opportunities in this dark market, which apparently looks to be a bear market, going into a recession, or we are in a recession already. I don't even pay attention to any of that stuff because we're still booming. We just had a record-breaking revenue month at AGM Marketing in the month of August. We're going for another great one right now in October. Natural Slim, our brand, is still kicking strong, breaking records every month. Like, we're growing. We're going to cross $50 million in revenue this year, and still booming and still doing incredible things. Opportunities are available, but only for those people that decide to open up their freaking eyes and look. The ones that stay asleep, well, we're going to just wave while we pass you by. So look for those opportunities. So any of you guys that want to talk to one of our ninjas, talktoaninja.com, book a calendar appointment, and we can talk about what you need, whether that's free training, whether that's paid training, whether that's advanced training, consulting, coaching, or marketing services on an agency retainer. We got it all for you, all right? And we can figure that out. We can create lead generation strategies, marketing strategies. We can execute on them. We can help you with your e-commerce. We can help you generate prospects and leads for your practice, whatever that may be. And we can get it all done for you, all right? So in closing, I think, John, that one of the potentially biggest advice that I can give to an audience watching this, listening to this, is something that you have executed on, whether intentionally or unintentionally, and that is get very close to the sun of an organization. In this particular organization, let me explain what I mean by the analogy. I'm the sun that everybody rotates around. I'm the CEO, right? Yes. Everybody looks up to me to make decisions. I guide and I execute and I move. And because I have been more right than wrong, we have grown. If I was more wrong than right, we wouldn't grow, right? Yep. So you have gotten closer to the sun. So by you getting closer to the sun, I'm able to see who you are and I'm able to see you grow. So one of the hardest advice, biggest tips that I can give to anybody looking to grow is get connected with people that have what you want to have or that know what you want to know and flow power to them. The way that you do that to me or the way that other staff do that with me and they get close to me and they try to get value from me by giving me value is exactly what I do with all these powerful people that I get to work with every day. I go and I connect with a guy called Vic Tipness. I go and I connect with Dr. Berg. I go and I connected with Frank Suarez, with my father for many, many years. I go and I connected with like anybody, Jason Fladlin, etc. All these people that I get to work with every day, I'm looking to flow them power and energy because I know that power is inevitably coming back when I'm talking to somebody that is in a place where I want to be at.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Totally agree.
So you have what is a tip that you can give people in regards to connecting with the leaders of an organization? How do you do that the best?
Start by making sure that they notice you. Start by making sure that you provide value. And then the more attention you grab from or you have in your age or your company, the more it is easier for you then to reach out to the sun or the bosses from your company. Because let's say if you're doing bad on your company, then that's going to be negative attention. If you try to reach out to your bosses, they're most likely going to hate you or fire you afterwards. So always do something good that is going to ensure that they start noticing you. That way, when you are going to their direction to provide more value to them or provide more power for them, they're going to remember your name. They're going to easily recognize you after that.
Amazing. John, thank you very much for your time today on this interview, Social Marketing Hour. It's been great to have you here as usual. And we're looking forward to the next trip in which hopefully you're going to bring your girl. And then we're going to do this again at some point and see where we're at that point. We're at 115 staff right now and growing. We'll see where that takes us. Thanks very much. I'm very proud of you, bro. Thanks for providing value to the organization and to the people at large. Anybody that wants to get John's help, he's always willing to help. But again, you can go to talktoaninja.com to see how we can help you. All right?
Awesome.
Thanks for the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, boss.
All right. See you on the next one.